I know that I don't have like really anybody that watches my channel, but that's okay. So the whole like 2 viewers that I have, appreciate you. I have decided to go ahead and make a new playlist. I talk real shit. Now, this is going to dive into a lot of different things and a lot of different parts. Some of my mental and emotional health, some of my physical health, some previous experiences, whatnot, some opinions. First thing that I wanted to get out, just for the sake of getting it out to see if that might help me out, is I really, really like having the appearance and everything about my personality, pretty much everything about me, saying that I am a badass. I love having the visual representation and the attitude and, personality to be able to back that up. And, I got to talking to Sam about it, and so a lot of things that I've had to kind of work through and figure out and understand, partially for my healing, mental and emotional healing process. And I've noticed that he even mentioned that he really liked the way that I talked and everything when we first met. At that time, of course, I'm single, so I am who I want to be. And I told him this morning, because we've had some previous discussions on the topic, and I told him this morning, I said, I've been really thinking about it a lot, and, it's it's actually a subconscious thing that happens, so don't get mad. But I think that at least some of the reason that you don't really get to see me as representing myself as that badass anymore like I used to was because I am basically conditioned. I have been conditioned from previous relationships to just shut the fuck up and just not be me. So far into the relationship, and I say or do something, and then the other person is doing everything that they can to get me to silence me. So I got used to that, and am now starting to be able to bring my subconscious to my conscious state of my mind, and it all makes sense now. Like, that's why I told him, I said, after we moved out into the trailer, and of course, the EMF was really affecting me heavily. And so that is absolutely going to have some effect on my mental and emotional states and how I act, how I talk, all of that, how I think is going to affect everything. So that definitely was not helping anything. That was actually hindering a lot. I told him here about a week ago or so that I said, when we moved out there, and pretty much when the effects really started to set in with me, I felt as if I was like more or less scared of you, but I'm not scared of you. And he asked, do you know why? And I'm like, no, I don't know why. I don't have an answer. I really just, I don't know. It's all a mystery to me. And I really think that has, I'm going to say, about 50% to do with my previous relationships and what I have been conditioned to be so far into a relationship, and then the other 50%, the effects that I was having from the EMF. So I am kind of trying to learn to, just allow myself to be me. I'm not intending to more or less turn into this scared little girl again, all over again within my relationship, within life in general, but also within my relationship that I have. And, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. So I'm working on, recovering that. And in my opinion, part of being, the badass type of person means that you are a big enough person to not only well, let me figure out how to word this. I feel like I'm really having a hard time with wording. Today's not been a very good day. Apparently, I had a random span of 20 minutes or so that I was perfectly fine, and then out of nowhere, I lost all energy, all strength. I was having pain in my hips and my right hip and leg again, like I had before, when I had lost my ability to walk. And then after a little bit, it just went away, just disappeared. And then I had all my strength and energy. Even Sam said that during that time that I had no color in my face at all. That's fucking weird. I don't know what's causing that. We'll keep an eye on that though. Make sure that doesn't happen again, or if it does, try to track down what might be causing it. But back on track here. I kind of feel like it's the same principles as when you go to when you are in recovery for addiction or something like that. You have to be able to admit that you have whatever problem it is, and you have to accept that, and then you have to work on it, and you have to work on it relentlessly until you are able to break the habit, or however the situation goes, with depending on what it is. So that's what I've been trying to do lately. Is I'm really, really tired of being the scared little girl, and I am doing everything in my power to address, to figure out, so that I know what problems are there, but they're so deep subconsciously that it's just simply going to take some time to work through those things and figure out what they are. Well, figure out what they are and then work through them. So that's where I'm currently at. So that I know I do have some problems, and I don't know what all of them are, but I am trying to figure that out so that I can work on them. One of them actually being my beef, more or less, if you will, with cameras. I am still very, very camera shy, even though, yes, I've been doing these videos. That's the whole purpose of them, is to break the habit, to break my fear, more or less. I mean, one of my first videos was actually on that whole topic, why I have such a hard time with cameras and mirrors. So I'm really working hard on it with cameras, because that's where the majority of the problem is for me. Because I know that, family members are going to want, family photos and this and that and whatnot. I've always shied away from that. I've always hated it because of the way that it makes me feel. So I do these videos partly because I am trying to work on that. I'm trying to break my fear of cameras. So anyone that actually watches these videos can kind of may or may not be able to see the progress. I don't know. I don't know how much I actually show it. I mean, my whole goal is to not make it seem like it, but yet keep working on it. But yeah, uh, my whole thing with, like, being myself within a relationship, I have been beat down a lot within previous relationships. After a while, they kind of, the person gets to know me for the kind of person I am and who I am and whatnot. And then, I do or say something that the other person doesn't agree with or doesn't like. And, then they are trying to get me to stop doing whatever it is. So I now expect that. So rather than going through that hell once again, I just subconsciously, just over time throughout the relationship, I start shutting down and I don't even realize it. And I hadn't noticed that until just recently. Like this morning, I was talking to Sam about that, and like I think I'm onto something here, and I want to work on it the best I can. So if you know feel like I'm just not acting like me and it's something more than just the EMF effects, then I think this is what it is, but I am trying to work on it. And luckily, I have a real man. I got a really good one. So he's very, very uh, supportive, and I can't think of the other word that I'm looking for. Very awesome person, though. Very, very happy that I met him. And I told him, like, I'm working on this, and so he's like, all right. So we'll see how this goes. I'm on kind of a I'm on a journey for a lot of things. We're covering a lot of different things in a lot of different ways, and some of it, more more than likely, most of it will be in videos, because I do go back and watch these myself and track my own progress. So I can't wait to see progress within myself and becoming a better person. That's like one of my biggest life goals, is to be a better person. Always be growing and changing into a better person than I was yesterday. Because, Donna told me, be the change that you want to see in the world. And I try really, really hard to do that. And that comes in a lot of different forms. But I really try to do just exactly that. What I would like to see in the world is people working on themselves and working to make themselves a better person than they were the day before. I want to do that. I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I am doing everything that I can to do so.